Hello and welcome back to another episode. That's right, we're starting right off with this. Subject: Alien Phenomena in the Pilot Program. Origin: Tidal Mechanics Research Archives. Author: Director of Celestial Mechanics, Iapetus. This is going to be a lot of text, so I'm just going to pull out a few things. The Scout program was created to be fungible with various other religions or philosophies in direct response to the immediate post-war need to address growing existential threats. So, we know that the existential threat is a post-war growing thing, and the Scout program is created to be fungible with various other religions and philosophies. A wild thing to say. When I have heard the voice of God, she speaks in a way that is fungible with various other religions or philosophies in direct response to the immediate need to address growing existential threats. That's like my lived experience. But it's wild to hear somebody else say it. With support for a unified approach to space in order to prevent human cultural rivalry, and if there's no, survival of the wisest, like Jonas Salk would say, the polio vaccine guy, did comprehensive anticipatory design science, which is always fun. You want to prevent human cultural rivalry, so that you can have enough gravity that is human, I think, if I'm reading this right. The Memorial Foundation has been granted an opportunity to revise the scouting program and change the reactive war of attrition into a proactive one and confront the existential threat directly. The existential threat is the alien threat. We must think of them as one and the same. What is not known to us is the alien. The alien is defined by that most familiar function, f of x equals that which is human that humans are not. A fascinating logical paradox of much utility in research is the thought exercise. Imagine something that humans could not imagine. Logically, you should not be able to do it. It is inherently impossible to imagine something that you have by definition the capabilities to imagine. It is inherently impossible. There should be an extra negative there. And yet, this thought exercise leads us to begin defining first what is human. In other words, what is conventional. And then, by the same process, to imagine what is unconventional. In fact, this is the essence of conquering the unknown, rather than allowing it the power to rule and to safely integrate it in culture, than for it is to fester in anti-culture, but it will not produce what is truly alien to us. Solving this puzzle requires us to be a part of what humanity does not wish to be. I don't like it. I like Pluto, but I don't think... But this is the director of Celestial Mechanics. Color me mildly concerned. Do you ever miss Lunaterra? What? No! In case you'd forgotten, she betrayed us and went back to Memorial Foundation. I know you want her back because you are kind and forgiving, but I'm not, and I'll kick her butt if I ever see her again. But that's no different than how you two used to be. You two only fight less now. That's the part that's sad. She was always smug, always a know-it-all, always one step ahead. The worst senior pilot, and she didn't teach me shit. Breakups really do turn all your memories sour, huh? That's... Shut up. Lunaterra is the only one I feel that way about. I know, you pine after good girls way too much. I think dating bad people is good for you. If I have to go through that again, no thanks. The only thing I miss is the expression on her face after I got one up on her. Her smile, you mean? You miss it too. I do. And as always, quit at the right time. Let's find find out. Subject re, origin, direct message, Mars. Fine. I know I didn't get to the point, but I have to build up to it, okay? The contextualizing information is important. But okay, I will actually talk about it this time. Mechanical interface is how machines typically work. You're going to yell at me for not being clear if I don't say this, but if I say that's when you've got physical switches and buttons and steering devices and you move them with your hands, that doesn't actually really convey it. Because you do those things in your ship self, but you don't use mechanical interfacing. So it actually matters that it is defined as exact mental instruction. It does exactly what you tell it. You can make anything you want to happen, but you have to give it exact instructions. There's the physical lag between yourself and the machine, but there's also the nuanced nature of giving the instructions. That's a really hard thing to do. Obviously, most people would prefer to move a machine on raw instinct or like a part of their body. I don't think many people actually get the best results from an interface like that. Unless, yes, they're like our mutual ex. Hey, is that what you wanted to know? So that's fun. Is there mutual ex Luna Terra or a third person? It doesn't seem like Saturn and Mars have the connection that Mars and Luna Terra do, but like a lot remains to be seen. I remain really nervous about this celestial mechanics 50% sort of thing. And I'm just thinking more and more about the theories going on here. The theory of the existential threat. I know if you play through Saturn's story, you'll probably understand more of what Saturn's going through. I know you need to play through this game at least twice to actually see every side of the missions. And realistically, you might need to play it 3 or 4 times because of all the choices. Ambient title information. This is from a while back. I don't know who I'm sending this to, but I think about you all the time in the back of my mind. I know a lot about you. Does that mean you know about me too? Or are you just glowing brightly in a way that I don't understand? Is anyone else seeing this? Do you get messages like this all the time? Are you aware of how much you loom in the heart of someone you haven't met? This would be a message that would make sense if it was being received by Saturn, but instead it's being received by Pluto because Pluto has the title information. The author is a love story, and this isn't a message to Pluto, but it's a message that only Pluto's able to receive because Pluto has the title reactor. But the message is actually to the existential connection, the emotional connection that Saturn is working on that Pluto isn't. Pluto has tidal reactors, dual tidal reactors, gravity, which is human culture, but it's not persons, it's human. And I don't mean that in a species, I mean that in the collective noun. Whereas persons, I mean the individual noun, even though that's the plural one. Saturn is the first and only individual in this setting, maybe? Question mark? That's my theory. That's where I'm at right now. And I'm so excited for what comes next. And I will see you all for that one next time.